Ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to you from the 2018 Sprott Natural Resource Symposium, and with us is legendary miner, investor, entrepreneur Ross Beaty of Pan American Silver fame and of the multiple Lumina success stories fame.
And Equinox Resources, don't
Equinox
forget.
Resources, we shan't forget.
My first company.
My former boss, Doug Casey, used to call Ross the broken slot machine because every time you put money in, you won. So, Ross, what are you working on today, and where's the broken slot machine going to deliver next?
Right. So I guess just to be sort of it's a hard time for me to be short and succinct, but I will try.
Okay.
The one company I've spent most of my time working on for the last 9 years was a renewable energy company. It wasn't a mining company. It was a clean energy company called Altera Power,
which we made money on.
Well, it was the old struggle building a real company, right,
yes,
from nothing,
yes,
and it takes some time, took a bit of risk, and lost a few, won a few, but ended up, if you'd bought the stock any time in the last 6 years, post IPO actually, you would have made a pretty good return, about triple your money, because in the fall of last year, we accepted a takeover offer from a big Montreal-based company called Intergex, and we sold in February this year for $1.1 billion, and that was about a 60% premium from the average of the last year or two. So that was a reasonable return for most shareholders of Altera. I'm going to keep my stock in Intergex. I'm not going to sell. I love the company. They're still a clean energy company, but what it's done for me is it's freed me up to do other things.
Right.
So that's exit from that business, really. I'm still chairman of Pan American Silver. It's wonderful, wonderful. Everything's going well, and I really mean that. It's making more money today than it made when silver was $40 an ounce.
Actually, let's talk about it for just a second.
I'll just finish, and then I'll come back to that.
Okay, all right.
So there's Intergex, Altera Intergex, that's gone. Pan American's kind of on remote control. I'm not too active in it, but it's a great story, and I'm still chair. I've got a love affair with my Lumina Gold company. Lumina is developing this beautiful gold deposit in Ecuador, and it's so beautiful that we've decided to carve the company into two, create a new company called Luminex, throw everything except the one key project into Luminex, and see where what I can do with Lumina Gold next year. Maybe we can sell it. Maybe we can sell it for a multiple of what it's trading at today. We'll see. Watch this page. And then the thing I'm mostly working on now, which is what I switched from Altera into the new deal, is Equinox Gold. So named after the reason I reminded you of my very first company is because I'm trying to bookend my career with Equinoxes. And this is going to be I'm sure it will be, I have great expectations, this is going to be a big, profitable, successful gold mining company that lives beyond my lifetime. That's what I'm doing.
And you didn't even wave your arms when you said that. It's this big.
I'm holding them together tightly, right?
Okay. Multiple exciting fronts. Let's go back to Pan American for a moment. I'm a silver bull, in particular at this time, because I see it as an energy metal as well as a precious metal.
Which
the
it is.
solar panels. I mean, just the narrative, as we say now, for silver is fantastic. It's on sale. Pan American's profitable, but it's a big company. Is there, is what moves the dial for Pan American other than silver going up?
Right. Well, obviously that's one, because now we have this massive production that's making tons of money. We have no debt. We're in just beautiful shape. Balance sheet's pristine. Income statement's beautiful. It's worth whatever, $3 billion now. What's going to take it from 3 to 5 or 3 to 6? Actually, could happen in a month or two, literally. We have this massive deposit in Argentina that's worth that much in our share price because it's been paralyzed from development for the last 7 years or so.
Well aware.
And we think that the situation in Argentina has changed profoundly, and that the province is realizing that they should get an economic engine from our project. It should generate
this isn't Macri. This is the
No,
province.
it's both Macri and the province.
Okay.
Macri's different than Christina Kirchner. That's good, but the province really runs the show in mining.
Right.
And we think, although it's not free from risk, there's the ban is still there on open pit mining, but we think there's a lot of forces that are all local forces really marshalling in support of zoning the province for areas that they will not allow mining, like the Andes and the coast, and the bulk of the province will be open for mining, which makes a lot of sense to me. It's a very windy plain with almost no biota of any kind.
You've been there.
and so it's a logical. This mine will generate about, it'll generate, just literally billions of dollars in value for the
province,
the
and
province.
hundreds of direct jobs and thousands of
Yep,
indirect
yep.
jobs. It would,
About
yeah.
600 million of immediate capital, and it's a big project. But what it'll do for Pan American is it moves the dial.
Yes.
We're 26
Yes.
million ounces. It'll get us to about 42 million ounces a year, 16 million ounces of production.
No, I absolutely get that. I didn't realize that was
ages.
even possible. I thought that was just.
And by the way,
stuff.
none of this is private information. You can just Google Pan American Navidad Chubut, and you're going to see all the information that's on the web. You can look at it yourself, make your own decision.
Well, that's quite interesting. I'll have to have another look.
You asked me. That's the story.
Okay, so tell us more about Lumina Gold.
Well, Lumina Gold's, as I said, it has a whole raft of properties in Ecuador because we got in there early, just when they were changing the rules.
So did you put these together yourselves, or did you buy some?
All the Lumina team, all my old Lumina Copper team. We sold the last company in 2014. We went right over to Lumina, started Lumina Gold right then and there, and went into Ecuador because we had a view that they were changing the laws. We had a view that gold was going up. We've been successful on both counts. And
wait, you're saying you went to Ecuador? This is pretty cool. You're saying it's basically a contrarian spec.
Yeah,
everybody hates Ecuador.
Yeah,
and we're going to go where other people don't, and we know there's gold.
Right, right. Basically, that
was a gutsy move.
Well, not really. They'd already changed presidents, right? Correa had gone, and the new guy was in, and he was making the right noises. And we had a really great manager in Ecuador, so he got us a fabulous property base, and we raised enough money to support him, and it's been a very successful deal. But it essentially was a bit of a contrarian play about the country, because it had been a mess. It had been a pariah for many, many years before that.
Right.
But we like it. So we have the big profile project that we just did a preliminary economic assessment on a few weeks ago, and it's capable of kicking out about 380,000 ounces of gold for 16 years, by the way. Not a bad mine life.
Give FDN a run for their money?
It's a different project. Ours is low grade, large tonnage.
Right.
FDN is high grade, low tonnage. Underground, ours is open pit. It's the opposite endpoint, really, but from a profitability standpoint, probably fairly similar.
Okay.
So, but the difference is Lundin really wants to build a gold mining company with that vehicle. For us, Lumina Gold is essentially an acquire, explore, develop, sell strategy. So we're probably going to look at divesting next year.
In Lumina history.
That's the brand, right?
That's right.
Meanwhile, my real deal that I'm spending most of my time and money on, because I've invested a lot of money, is Equinox. And I'm going to try to build that into a very cool, new, big, profitable, successful gold mining company. There's room in the space. It's a great commodity.
Focus for it, or?
Well, the Americas has been my trap line. It's worked out really well for me over the decades, and but the management team, interestingly enough, the management team comes from West Africa success. They had True Gold and they had Endeavor, and those were both pretty successful companies. So that's their experience. It's going to be maybe a mix, but right now it's all Latin America. It's the United States, California, and Brazil. Those are the two big projects we've got.
So how did you hook up with the True Gold guys in the Endeavor? Like True Gold,
they ran a company called Trek. Yeah, but that's a separate group completely. The True Gold guys were bought out when True Gold was sold, and then they went and became managers of Trek Mining. Trek is what had the Brazilian property.
Right.
And we merged that with Newcastle, which was one of Richard Warwick's companies, and one of my companies. So we had a three-way merger in December, and now we've been 6 months with Equinox Gold, so named after my first company. So.
Okay. I have to say, I'm not familiar with all the assets put together here, but okay, where's the rubber going to hit the road first?
Well, we're in the middle of building a mine in Brazil, so that'll be completed in December. We're fully financed. It's all
permitted, all financed.
We're in 3/4 of the way through construction, so almost done there. That'll start pouring gold in December, and then we have a fully permitted mine in California called Castle Mountain, which we're going to try to build next year as a relatively small scale mine, about 50,000 ounces a year, preparatory to building a much bigger mine, which we need to re-permit some of the environmental
in California.
permits. Yeah,
that doesn't scare you.
God no, I've permitted
I love your confidence.
I've done it. I mean, we ran the American Girl mine, the Oro Cruz mine. We've permitted the Zenda deposit, so I've been there.
Yeah.
And you can do it. It's successful. And Castleman was an old producer, don't forget. It
Right.
ran for
Right. So it's not
No,
virgin
it's
territory.
brownfields.
It's fine.
No.
And where exactly is it located?
South of Las Vegas.
South of.
Yep.
Okay. All right. On that
So when you
side.
get bored, you can go and do the real risky stuff.
I remember the Atna guys. They got permitted. Pretty near Death Valley, which you'd think might be scary, right? It's like 4 miles from the border of Death Valley.
It's doable.
So, okay. So you have 2 projects that you're building,
Yep.
but you're going to acquire more,
Yep.
explore more?
Yes. Yes. Keep talking.
Okay.
Yes. 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 We're going to try to build a big gold mining company.
So here's the arm waving question. Then goal is build it to 500,000 ounces per year, or
There's no real top size, but the sweet spot is about 500,000 ounces. If we can get it to that point in the next, say, 4 years, that will establish us as a very profitable, sustainable company. And at that point, I'll probably just say, with Pan American done, I'll step back and let the guys really take it from there. But getting it going is the fun part and the hard part, and it takes a lot of capital, which I have now, and I'm devoting to this. And it takes effort, and it takes a strong group of people, and we have that.
Okay, let's go back to Ecuador for a moment. I'm thinking about it. Big open pit is pretty different, and you're not concerned about the permitting on that there? I mean,
well, here's the situation. This is going to be a very big mine. It'll be 40,000 tons a day, phase 1, phase 2, up to probably 60 or 70,000 tons a day. Capital costs will be 850 million, that kind of thing. That's big company stuff. It's Equinox itself is building these 2 mines. One will have a capital cost of 50 million. That's California, because the infrastructure is much largely there. The Brazil mine also is a brownfields mine. It's rebuilding an old mine that was running. So our capex in Brazil is 140 million.
Sorry, I was talking about
I know you were.
Sorry,
I
go
know
ahead.
you were. I know you were.
Talk me through it then.
The difference, though, is the capital intensity to get so many ounces. And in Brazil and in Castleman, why they're attractive for Equinox is because they're easily financed. They're low capital, 140 million, snap of the fingers. 880 million in Ecuador. That's hard. Let the big companies do that. The really big, the Barracks, the Goldcorps, the Goldfields, all those guys. Those are the natural buyers of that project. Because for them, this thing will kick out 380,000 ounces, 350,000 ounces of gold for 16 years. That's what they're looking for. They're not looking for the 50, 80, 100, 150,000 ounce mines. So that's what Equinox will do at this stage of its growth, right? It's 6 months old.
Yes.
We can't go out and raise 800 million without giving away the farm. I want a $2 billion market cap, and then I go out and raise $300 or $400 million in equity. It's sustainable. That I can do, but that's several years out.
Okay. And the Luminex spin out, has that happened yet, or is that in the plans?
Luminex is in the plans. We've announced it. It'll be voted on in August. It'll be spun out, I think, like end of August. Every Lumina Gold shareholder today gets a free share of Luminex.
A whole share?
Well, it'll be consolidated because we have a lot of shares out in Lumina Gold. So it's going to be 40 million shares out. But proportionally, I love spin-outs too. Yeah. I love spin-outs. In fact, we're doing another spin-out in Equinox Gold. We're spinning it all over our copper assets.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, and that's going to happen as well. So I don't know when the record date is for shares, but soon.
But how do you keep up with all this?
It's easy. It's not that hard. It's not that hard.
And we can believe that because you've done it.
Yes.
It's hard to argue with somebody's experience.
It's management. It's not that hard. Okay. You know what you have to do? You have to delegate. And you have to let other smart people run their own world, as long as you kind of communicate and find out what's going on and you're not blindsided at all.
I know it's a totally unfair and ugly question, but we've talked about 3 pretty exciting stories. And honestly, you've gotten me more enthused about Pan American than I was before this conversation.
Yeah, you should be.
But which one of your 3 children do you love best? Like, if I could only pick one, where would I?
I love Equinox best. It's not to say it will have the greatest. From the standpoint of capital gain potential in the next 12 months, my guess is Lumina Gold will outperform both Equinox and Pan American. But for the long term, it's Equinox Gold that is the one that I'm most interested in working to build into a big company, because it's just in me to do this. And I expect, to the extent we are bigger, it will become a household name in gold, which is phenomenal. That's what Pan American Silver is. And it will have a really solid balance sheet income statement and be low stress. And I mean, to do that in anyone's career, it's just a wonderful challenge. It's a wonderful challenge, and I love rising to those challenges. Of course, if gold and silver run, you're going to see Equinox and Pan American outpace Lumina Gold because there's more leverage. So short term, I'd say, because of what I know is going on in Ecuador, I'd say my vote would be Lumina Gold would be the #1 performer over 12 months. But beyond that, I think Pan American and Equinox have a great and a lot lower risk profile.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Very
You're
exciting.
welcome. Okay.